to break down a whipping blocking combination that we call in San Diego the Waitress. The thing that's unique about the Waitress is it is an aggressive whipping blocking combination that happens from behind the action is where it starts. So if a blocker sees that a jammer is stuffed behind somebody up ahead of her, say the last line of defense from the opposing team, this is how you run up, help her out, and get that person out of the way. Okay, so Bully Julie's gonna help me demonstrate here some of the breakdown steps. First we'll show you what it looks like in action, and then we'll break it down into tiny little steps for you. I'll save you, Bully! So the first thing that you wanna get good at is that transition. Obviously you have to be good at transitions. You have to feel comfortable coming up to somebody, grabbing their hand, and being in front of them without flying off into either direction. So that transition is the first thing you practice. You have two people roll just a little bit, and then you have to practice getting in front of somebody and just working on your timing. The timing of that alone is 99% of it. So that's something that you can do without the pressure of the whip, without the pressure of the block. Your first step is start behind somebody, grab their hand, be skating backwards in front of them. Obviously you have to know how to backward skate for this one too. So when making your transition, this isn't the traditional 1-2 thing. It's a little bit wider, it's a little more cowgirl, if you will. But you want to make sure that you actually do make that transition from one foot to the other and try to make it as fluid as you can. So again, that first part is just practicing the transition itself, which isn't a normal transition. It's a little bit faster and crazier. But what you're doing is you come up beside a person, and the timing is to where you just pass her, and then you make your turn around, and then you grab, okay? That's for a regular whip. In this one, even though I grab her hand, I'm still gonna make sure that I'm right about here in front of her when I do my turnaround and pull. And at that point, I would be sticking my butt out on whoever is in the way. I would be actively oozing them out of the way as I pull. Okay, so Kibosh is going to be the defensive person that's stuffing my jammer. Bully Julie is my jammer, and I'm a blocker. And we'll put on some helmet panties to make that clear. Okay, so Kibosh is stuffing Bully. Bully's like, oh no, I'm the jammer and I'm stuck. And I'm like, don't worry, I will save you, Bully Julie. So I come over, I grab her, I make my transition in front of Kibosh. I put my ass out as I do my whip, and then I make my block. Sometimes I don't have to lunge forward. I can just have my ass right here and it'll get the job done. So in motion, it looks like this. So breaking it down, the steps are, you go up to a person, you grab their hand as you're in transition. Your transition takes place right in front. As you go in front, you either make your block or you just squeeze, just stick your ass out like you're taking a dump in the woods. Okay, so grab hand, make transition, dump in the woods. That should help you remember that. So just, that's all you gotta do. That'll make it happen. Okay, so in closing with the Waitress, when you're first practicing this, make sure that you just take it slow, that you don't have to have this mad dash of a perfect Waitress. Try practicing just your transitions in front of a person with your backwards whips first. So I come up to the side of somebody, I make my transition, I give them a backwards whip. Be comfortable with that first before you step into the blocking combination. Then make sure it's in a controlled environment while you're practicing this. You come up in front of a person, you come up to the side of a person, you make your transition, you're in front of them, you're gonna give this whip, make sure that you feel good on your feet to make that turn, to make that squat, and to stick it basically right in somebody's crotch. That's what you're aiming for, because then you effectively immobilize them. No hit is really necessary from there. If you decide to be an overachiever and go ahead and pop them while you're there, good on you, but it's not necessarily necessary. So remember to practice in a controlled environment. And then in exciting moments, the practical application of this is essentially getting that last blocker out of the way. that last line of defense that your jammer just does not want to go through from the other team. If you're back in the back there, don't just watch her struggle. If they're within 10 feet, 15 feet, 18 feet, go get her, go help her out. Give her a whip and she'll be glad you did. Send her on that long lap with some speed. The end.